The gentlewoman yields back. The chair now recognizes the representative from Georgia, Mr. Carter, for 5 minutes to ask your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and congratulations to you, Mr. Chair, on your chairmanship of this subcommittee. It is a great subcommittee. I served as vice chair for a while last session. I tell you, they got a great team too. So they've surrounded yourself with good people, and we appreciate it because it is extremely important. This area, as we all know, is extremely important. Mr. Gillian, I want to start with you. You said today that we, as the U.S., are watching other countries, whether it's allies or rivals, make more 5G spectrum available for their 5G networks than it is in the U.S. Can you talk more about that and why other countries are doing what they're doing with spectrum, why it matters, and specifically about China?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question, Congressman. You go around the world. England has twice as much of the spectrum that we do. Japan has 3 times as much. There's just been a recognition when you look at these demand curves, what are we going to need to actually meet that moment and also to create innovation? If you think about all the innovation in the sharing economy, all those apps, they happened in the United States because 4G was the best in the world in the United States. And we need to get back to that place in 5G. What we see in China is both domestically, they want to be able to deliver innovation, manufacturing, they're pushing forward with the smart manufacturing, leveraging that spectrum. They also want to, as Mr. Ronaldo has talked, they want to export their values, their equipment through spectrum policy. So right now, globally, there's four 5G spectrum bands out there for the globe to use. China supports 3 of them. We support 0 of them for 5G. We're not in the game right now to be able to help shape where our allies, where we go, which impacts our ability, our manufacturing base to have someone to sell equipment to. It impacts our impact to innovate. So the faster we get back to more spectrum, the better off we'll be. Great.
Thank you for that explanation. Mr. Powell, how will the unlicensed and the shared community help us address the China threat as it was just explained?
Thank you for the question. One example I'd like to share, which is Georgia-based, is the United States Marine Corps at the logistics base in Albany, Georgia, is using CBRS shared spectrum right now to advance our warfighters' abilities to use robotics on the battlefield. I think it's important to remember that, China's a threat on multiple fronts, and if they invade Taiwan, we're going to find out the most important one is whether we're able to meet that threat. So CBRS shared spectrum has been a solution on a number of military bases to allow them to set up their own private networks in order to train and operate equipment.
Good, thank you for that. Mr. Gillian, I want to go back to you. As you know, I introduced the American Broadband Deployment Act that takes steps to eliminate the bureaucracy and the red tape. And I tell you, that's one thing the Trump administration is going to address is just all the permitting, all the regulations that go throughout all of our economy. I don't care if you're talking about healthcare, if you're talking about technology or energy. Everywhere I go, everybody's telling me permitting, regulations, crushing us. So obviously in the previous Trump FCC, they made great strides in this area, and Chairman Carr's leadership has been needed. I'm wondering, do you think it's important to codify those changes, and should we go even further?
Yes, I think your bill is a key companion to this conversation around spectrum, that in order, particularly as we're waiting years to get spectrum access, we need to hit the ground running. And I think what Chairman Carr did previously on permitting reform, we need to do more. We need to go beyond small cells to macro cells. How do we get to federal land? So I think your legislation is a key piece of how do we actually codify that common sense modernization that we need to actually get people out building again.
Do you think spectrum would be more valuable if broadband permitting was faster and more transparent at the local and the state level?
Yes, it gives us a roadmap to how quickly we can build. If you buy that asset, how quickly can you put it on the towers across the country, actually delivering service to consumers?
I think that's very important. I hear it all the time as well about problems not only at the federal level, but at the state and at the local level as well. We need to be assisting them in that as well.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much, and thank all of you for being here. Again, this is extremely important, and we all know that, and we recognize that. So your input is very valuable, and we appreciate you taking time out to spend with us. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.